Hello everyone, this is Constable Conspicuous coming at you with another video. Ross Thatcher, aka Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, a man who, were it not for his mental health being questionable, would be guaranteed the Dumb Fuck of the Year 2019 award, but that's not the subject of tonight's video, or today's video, depending on whenever you're watching this. On Saturday, April 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, he and I had a formatted debate on the Non-Sequitur show about the Flat Earth movement. Considering the only Flat Earther I saw backing him up was Scotty Storm, of all people, is not really anything to go off of, so he's clearly not very popular with the main body of the Flat Earth movement. But even more pathetic is that for a time, he seems to be the bravest of his movement, mostly because many others are starting to wimp out of other debates. Of course, I say that as there was just a debate marathon on the Non-Sequitur Friday and Saturday, but semantics. That's really the only thing I can give Ross any form of credit for, as well as his ability to hold a civil conversation. But let's just run down the list of things he screwed up with during the entire debate. First, I talked about the fact of two celestial poles, Polaris in the north, Sigma Octantis in the south, and that the way they spin and the general rotation of the stars throughout the night sky shows a spherical Earth and not a flat disk. Ross seems to have completely ignored this point from what I've rewatched in the debate. And honestly, looking back, I should have called him out on that he was completely ignoring it. Second, and Ross, if you're watching this, you utterly just waved away my citation of the Army Marine Corps Artillery Manual, the citation that factors in the Coriolis effect. You just continued on with the complaining about the snipers. What else was there? How about the claim you utterly pulled out of your ass when I presented the 1946 35mm filmed picture of the Earth from space, just saying it was a fisheye lens? Now anyone can look up that image, and I'll leave a link in the description down below to the segments of the debate where I pulled that up, and if you look at it, you will see no fisheye distortion anywhere within the outer edges of the frame. Now, while it might be possible, given that the fisheye lens was invented in 1906, there is no fisheye lens distortion on this image. I suspect you only said that because you could not bullshit CGI the second I said 35mm film. Another little tip for you, Ross, if you are indeed watching this. Claiming speeds to be ridiculous without demonstrating how they can be ridiculous, such as the rotation of the Earth and the rotation of our solar system, is just an argument from incredulity and an argument from ignorance. I even told you this during our debate. Now for the two biggest things that screwed you over during the entire debate. I presented the mathematics, measurements, and observations that perfectly demonstrate how the globe model works and how it comports to reality. One of the things you only showed me were pretty pictures of how people believe the flat Earth is. Pretty pictures are not models. You had no mathematics, no physics, no nothing. Just your twee little pictures and your claims. That does not a model make, Mr. Thatcher. And I even provided the mathematical proof to show that your quartz moon hypothesis is utter bullshit. And then you just hand-waved it off by just saying, oh, I'm just guessing what it is. Dude, you cannot in any way challenge the current accepted information about our moon without actually showing stuff that is concrete on your end. If you're just guessing, it's just bullshitting. I hate to burst your little bubble, Mr. Thatcher. Now, I might be seeming a little bit pretentious, and maybe some people say I'm being a bit arrogant, but I would be lying if I said I did not feel at any point after the debate, especially immediately after the debate, that I didn't feel like I could have done a lot better on certain aspects. I'm not perfect. This is only my third time ever doing this, but I can say this was probably my best one yet, especially compared to ones I've had with Christian Kelly and the Mind of God. But then we get down to exactly what bothered me about how Ross handled him. He provided absolutely no positive evidence on his end. And I especially love how he contradicted himself by saying, I trust my senses, and then immediately goes into the bullshit of how apparently our eyes make a horizon. I'm still waiting for the replacement of the actual law of angular perspective there, Ross. Your Nobel Prize is starting to collect a little bit of dust. Now, I could just leave the entire video right here, but I want to add in this one last segment I noticed Ross bitching about in the comments of that debate. He's now making the claim that because of like some of the freezing on his video feed during the debate, that apparently NonSeq started messing with his connection and with his video, and now wants YouTube to look into it. Ross, if you have any as strong of evidence for that as the Flat Earth, you're screwed. And as for you saying that you will probably no longer be on the Non-Sequitur show, just because you didn't even think for a second it might have been your own connection for that point, just out of your sheer incompetence, I don't have any problem with that at all. Mostly because I just feel like at many points, you've just been on the Non-Sequitur show for attention. So as far as I'm concerned, it's one less attention whore in Kyle's hair. How does it feel to have your ass handed to you by someone a quarter of your age? Let that sink in. Now I want to take this moment to thank Fight the Flat Earth and Godless Engineer for hosting the debate. I also like to thank Dr. Bob from Bob the Science Guy for moderating, and Bullinator for hosting. Now, Ross, given that some of the nature of this video, I still have to give you credit for showing up for the debate and in having an admirable attitude towards it, despite our clearly polarizing views. But that's all I gotta say about today, guys. Again, I will leave the video link for both parts of the debate because there was a bit of a mishap with the stream. So one part is just going to be our intros, and the next part is going to be the rest of the debate. But thank you so much for watching, and this is Constable Conspicuous, signing out.